You want to know why airlift to America that JFK did with MLK and all the other civil rights leaders and Hollywood people back then is so bad, and why it's tied to communism? Is it because you have to know what the four stages of your country being covertly overthrown are. And you don't have to worry about this now because Trump's in and taking us back into the direction we were supposed to be. But just realize that it was going on before, JFK, MLK, but JFK, MLK, and RFK were like the perfect communist storm. So the first stage is demoralization. And that takes about 10 to 20 years. It's crucial that the universities and the media are the ones in that first stage. They do the brainwashing. They do the demoralizing. You're a racist country. You're a slave country. The white man's bad. The black man's bad. America sucks. And the next thing you know, you hear that long enough from the media, from the universities, from the civil rights leaders, then you start thinking, God, this country sucks. You don't want to feel like that because they do that because it disempowers you. That's why what that black gentleman said a couple of years ago, I found so powerful when he said, I'm not an African American, I'm a black American. Like that was important to him. Like he knew, I'm not going to let you disempower me by saying that I'm from Africa. That's what I should care about. Because he's saying, I've never been to Africa. Regardless of the history with America, which they exaggerate in many ways too. I'm not saying there's always been groups and, on every side, okay? But again, the civil rights movement wanted to create victims. They wanted a revolution. And MLK was tied to communists. Go listen to Vince Ellison. He's a black man on YouTube. You can find him. Man, he rips all over stuff I don't even say about MLK. But he definitely was tied to communists, progressives. See, the communists, they will get a hold of anything they can. They love labor unions. Oh, they love labor unions. And I said they're married to socialism because they always know socialism will fail, and then they can come in and they can destroy everything further. It's a sick mindset. It really is. This doesn't ever make any sense. I think it's really just miserable people that aren't right in the head. But that said, they got a hold of the progressive movement. They use those movements. And what they'll do is all those movements will coordinate together, even though they may not all be on the same page. That's what was happening with MLK's group, is his Southern Conference leadership group was asking the communists to join them because it was more numbers. He wanted a silent, a peaceful revolution. But JFK and RFK were already in there. Here's the thing that Vince Ellison, I don't know if he realizes it yet, that RFK and JFK were tied to it too. All of them, what they hated is colonialism. And when most people hear colonialism, it's like, that racist. Colonialism brought a lot of good things. With America, you've been told, depending on how old you are, most of your life, that America is this horrible, rotten country that is racist. No, there's like 20 other countries that are, I'd say most of the world is a lot worse than us. So the reason the Kenya thing is particularly bad is because in order to overthrow a country, the next step after demoralization, that's like 15 to 20 years, is destabilization. That's, flooding your borders. Not just flooding your borders, but flooding your borders with people that are a completely different culture than you. Like people that eat dogs and cats. Why do you think Trump said it? He was telling you. That's what communists do. They need to, because they want to destroy your type. It's not about skin color. Communists will use anybody they have to. It's not like they care about people. Just look at Bill Ayers and Bernadine Dorn. Just look at any of them. this storm took, it was overhead Washington in America, and it's been over us for a long time. It's dissipating now. The problem we have now is, and it's the reason I keep speaking up, is because we have 3 generations of people that have been indoctrinated, brainwashed. And if you stop speaking up, they'll fall back into it. Because there was nobody in America countering any of that. Mostly because we didn't know what was going on. We didn't think it could happen here. But that's what it's been. It's been a covert overthrow of the United States. So that's the reason for the Kenya students. Again, and that's a way to demoralize you. I'm not telling black people that because I'm trying to demoralize you. I hope it empowers you to realize that what did MLK do for you? Gave you some good speeches? He went out of his way to make sure that Kenya students had homes, had meals, were able to pay to go to these colleges, and JFK being there to boot too because of his foundation. That's not showing America first. I mean, it makes sense why Trump said, make America great again, America first. Because many of our lifetimes, we've never seen a leader that put Americans first. Don't. And then what they do is they want to blame Israel. That's why you get these Tucker Carlsons and these losers, okay, that don't even, I think they know what the problem is. It's just that ultimately, what's underlying all this is everybody coming up against Israel. However, at least in America, the big game that's been being played since JFK, MLK, again, why has anybody, any of these Megyn Kelly, has anybody talked about the MLK files? Why is it that other Americans can, or some of us can put this together? Because they want you to still believe in these people. They need to use these people like, just listen to MLK. No, don't listen to MLK. Don't. He was dividing. He was. You could say, oh no, he had a dream. And yeah, he had a dream, and his dream was to bring Kenya students here with JFK, and it brought us Barack Obama, because Barack Sr. was on the second flight coming here. What sense does that make at all? None. But if you have to overthrow a country, then you want to bring people that are a different culture into your country because they don't give a shit about your country. See, we don't want like those Kenya African. It was 85% of the Kenyas. Like, think about all the poor neighborhoods in the cities. It's just like, it's so disgraceful. What a slap in the face. And I'm not saying that to demoralize black people, no, because they've done this to all of us. They did this with BLM, trying to stage white and black against each other. Stop falling for these communist tactics. The Progressive Party has been always linked, and the Democrat Party, to communism. Stay away from them. They're lunatics. I mean, Trump calls them the lunatic left for a reason. They're communists. And they're not going to stop. They're going to fight till the very end. I mean, they're going to find out that they have an end coming. But just recognize it's not to get depressed about MLK. It's just, it's the way of the world. Many people will sell out for money, but what Vince Ellison should tell his audience is that you can rip on MLK, but be sure to give JFK and RFK Sr. their due diligence too. Now, I'm not saying to go after the King family or the Kennedy family, but I think both families have really made a killing off of the whole thing, haven't they? But I think, the rest of us Americans that have been being screwed over by all of this bullshit, whether white or black, we're not the violent ones. We just want to move on, but it's time for you to all get off your pedestals. Yeah, I mean, enough is enough. The fact that people cannot understand the problem with JFK paying for Kenya students to come here, because the State Department was against it. He wanted to bring Barack's dad here so that, because again, communism works over many generations. Bring Barack's dad here, he's going to go on, and who did he end up sleeping with and getting pregnant? Wasn't she former CIA Ann Dunham? She had ties to the CIA. So you see how that works? That's how communism works. It's wicked. It's evil. and it will be defeated.